I've had a couple of videos I've done when I get to talk about being poor and being rich, and a lot of people actually tend to misinterpret that content. But then I want to stress this further by giving a little bit more of insight to what I meant. You see, when I oftentimes just keep reminding us about what it takes to being poor and what it takes for you to be rich. I said it all the time. That's something that has to do from how you think. But then I'm gonna put it up straight up to you right now. How you think actually matter a lot. You see, how you think matter a lot because whatever you conceive inside of you is a reflection of what you want to propagate for people to see. When I speak about being rich or being poor, a lot of people tend to think it's one actually bragging. Hey, listen up. Being rich is not about bragging. It's about a concept that you were born into or you are adopting. Don't forget, it's two things. Some people were born rich, some people made it out on the street and ended up being rich. This is a concept that the minute you accept this concept inside of you, you start believing in it. It's a reflection of what you are going to be propagating about your life. If you, for one, get to imagine that I want to be different from where I am right now to where I want to be, it's a concept you have admired. It's a concept that you have adopted. It's a concept that you now want for yourself or you need for yourself. And automatically, that concept helps you shaping a whole lot about your life. Automatically, you don't need to stress. If you want to be great, all right, let me put it through in this direction. You're not smart, you're not intellectual, but you're in school. The minute you adopt the habit of being with students that are intellectual, that is the success story for you. That is a cheat for you not to come out of school being a failure. You know, the minute you want to be successful out of that school, it's a concept you have already accepted. I don't want to fail. I don't want to repeat this class. I want to move out the same way my grades are doing it. I don't want to be left back. I don't want them to leave me behind. The minute you conceive that concept in you, you start living it. Living it means you putting them now to action. That's what being rich is about. Hey, listen up. I said something the other time, and I gave an illustration from Sylvester Stallone's movie. I said, you need the help from the inside and the help from the outside. That's when you have a perfect escape plan. I gave an illustration to my friend. I said, there's an office you will go to. When you get to the gate, the security men ain't gonna allow you in. They're gonna be wondering what someone like you is doing around such premises. They're gonna be wondering why would someone like you be having a reason to want to come into this office. Sometimes they tend to imagine, are you in your right senses? Are you sure you're not going the wrong way? Are you sure you're in the right place? Because they didn't believe that you could pull up in a place like that. Now they will ask you a question like, who are you looking for? Then you state whoever you're looking for. They'll be like, are you sure this person knows you? Are you sure this person is expecting you? All right, let's put a call to confirm. And trust me, if this person do not know you, then that means we're going to have a problem with you in here, right there at the gate. Now they will put up a call. That person will say, yeah, I know him. I'm expecting him or her. Let the person come through. Now, I want to tell you something. You see, right from that very moment, the same security men who looked down at you will start respecting you immediately, because you know why? Somebody at the top has given you a pass. They are not looking about your status right now. They are looking about the status of the man who has asked them to let you through. Now they'll be wondering, what would my boss be doing with a man like this? Then that means this man is more than what I take him to be. You can't want to be great and then all the time you surround yourself with the same energies that have been keeping you where you are all the time. When people talk about being rich and being poor, you think they're bragging. They ain't bragging. Hey, listen up. I want to tell you guys something. There are two kind of rich men. There are rich men who do not have the rich attitude. And there are rich niggas who's got the rich attitude. There are rich bitches on the street who's got the rich attitude. Listen, there are people who has accepted that concept of being rich. Listen, being poor is like a world of its own. Being rich is like a world of its own. As long as you've decided, that's why I told you it's a choice. As long as you've decided to be in either the rich zone or the poor zone, it becomes your choice. The minute you want to be in the category of the rich, trust me, you start changing a whole lot about your life immediately. Listen up, they said at the top, people are lonely in there. Because you know why? They don't just accept anybody being at the top. A lot of people want to be rich, but not a lot of people understand that they can be rich or not. We ain't bragging. No one is bragging online. I want you guys to understand something. It is not easy out there for one to be at the top. Listen up. Every time you want something from people, always make sure you got something to offer. Don't forget that. Remember that always. Before I need something from you, I must make sure I had something to offer. That's the only reason why you're going to respect what I'm bringing to the table. Being rich is your choice. Being poor is your choice. It's not about someone bragging. It's not about this man telling you an insight of being rich. Hey, listen up. When Robert Kiyosaki wrote that book titled Rich Dad, Poor Dad, he was one of the richest in Hawaii. He wrote that book, but he wasn't the richest in the world. But yet he gave you insight of being rich. He never said he was bragging. He never said he was trying to oppress you. He is trying to make you understand that between these two walls, there's different activities going in there. If the moment you feel like you have chosen the department of the poor, trust me, everything about your life shut down. I remember a storyline in that book of Robert Kiyosaki. He said the kid ran to the poor dad and asked him, Dad, I needed to do this thing for me. The dad said, I can't do it. Then he went down to the rich dad. He was like, Dad, I want you to do this thing for me. Now, the rich dad was a friend's father. He said, I want you to do this thing for me. Now, do you know what the rich man did? He said, how am I going to go about it? Now, there's one thing about the poor man's answer, and there's now another thing about the rich man's answer. The poor man's answer means that the brain is completely shut down to sleep. It can't think about no solution no more. But the rich man said, how am I going to go about it? Do you know why? Because he wants to give you a solution to that problem. He wants to give a solution to that query. He wants to give you an answer to your question. It begins here. It's your mindset. It's what you believe. It's what you want to conceive. And it's what you want to aspire. And it's another thing for you to propagate what it is. It's not about oppression. It's not about bragging. It's not about flaunting. When you see people who are in the department of the rich, they don't need to be the richest. They don't need to be the wealthiest person in that group. But they make you understand something. That as long as I'm in this department of the rich, I start thinking rich. There's no room for thinking poor no more. They don't want to do anything little no more. They want to live their life like the rich people would do. Listen, the difference between the rich and the poor is just a concept of living. It's just an insight of living. You need someone out there to bring you in there. The only way you find that kind of grace on the street is when the Lord has designed it and have assigned it for you. That is where we respect the power of grace. But with that grace, you need to walk your ass up there. You need to start looking about your contact right now. Start looking about them one by one and start asking yourself, is there anywhere this number is taking me to? For the past 6 months, I've had this contact on my phone. What progress have I made with this person? That's the only way you start understanding that being rich is a choice. And being rich comes with a sacrifice, the same way being poor comes with a consequence. It's not about bragging. I'll say one time again. It's about the concept that you have adopted. It's about the insight that you believe in. It's about now what you need. It's not about what you want. So when you want to be rich, you need to start understanding the fact that there are a lot of things you need to cut off. And if you want to be poor, there are a lot of things that are out there for you to embrace. So you don't, for one, get to think that people out there who are talking about money and some are trying to oppress you. If you feel like they're oppressing you, it is fine. If you feel like they're bragging, it is fine. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you one thing for sure. It's not easy to be rich. And can I tell you the truth? It's very hard to be poor either. So it's your choice. When you see those people who are rich, respect them for being rich. Because if you feel like you know what they know, why are you still where you are? All the time I keep having friends who call me all the time. I keep coming through for a lot of my friends, but they keep calling me stupid. They take me for a fool. But then I asked one of them a question one day. I said, you feel like I am a fool for coming through for you all the time. But the truth is, if you were that wise, why would you run to a fool for survival? That makes you stupid. That makes you stupid. People don't believe in some. I know there's a proper slogan which is most popular out there. They said nothing good comes easy. Yes, that's true. Nothing good comes easy. So in the recent years, I've come to understand that when you give people good things in an easy way, they call you stupid. Because they know that nothing good comes easy. But they forget the fact that as much as nothing good comes easy, grace can make everything possible. If you want to be rich, it's your choice. I choose not to be poor. I don't want to be like the richest man in the world. That's not what my aspiration is about. My aspiration is about me being rich. Rich because the Bible says I'm going to bless you according to my riches in glory. He didn't say according to my poverty in glory. The Bible says he who loves sleep and the foldings of hands. Poverty is going to invade you in the night like a thief. The Bible says that there's no food for lazy man. And he also says that I shall bless the works of your hands and they shall be fruitful. He says, goes into the world and multiply. You all think it's about producing children like factories. You need to expand your connection. There is no way you are aspiring for being rich. And yet, you still have no one contact in your phone that represents riches. My dear, you ain't going to achieve that shit. You're not going to achieve it for real. I'm telling you the damn truth. You need someone at the top to pull you up. Otherwise, the grace of God is powering you up already. So I want you to understand right now that whatever situation you find yourself, it's your choice. I know sometimes it sounds crazy that I was born into this family where there was nothing. It's still your choice. They fail does not make you fail. Your mother failed does not mean you should group your phone with contacts that could not do anything for you. Your father failed does not mean you should not mingle with people who could take you from point A to point B. So if your parent failed and you felt like you were born in that one room, so you have no reason as to why you want to aim for 3 rooms, then that is your choice. Because only we have the power to refuse. And only we have the power to accept. We can't want to change positions when we still migrating shit from point A to point B. And yet the stuffs we're migrating from point A to point B were the stuff that were not making us productive. You get mad when people talk about being rich. You get mad when people talk about how they live their good life. Don't you want the same too? You want the same too. Get inspired by what motivates them. Young M.A. said, I love the 10-letter words, and that's been successful. I'm so much inspired about being successful. And because I understand the fact that I being successful is a fact, that's when I understood the fact that I'm no longer poor. I am now rich. That's the understanding I want you to get. This is your homeboy Green. Peace out.